Hi students, this is AJ sir. Let's study 9th standard ICSE Math exercise 6C. In this method of cross multiplication to solve simultaneous equations, we first write the two equations in this format and then we use this formula. So we just have to remember this formula. Now there is a crisscross multiplication method. However, I'm just going to teach you the simple method using the formula. In this exercise, we'll do sums 4, 11 and 12. And for homework, you can do sums 1, 7 and 10. These questions 2, 3, 5, 6, 8, 9 can be cancelled because they are of the same type. If you want extra practice, you can do them as well. Let's start with the fourth sum. So the first step is to write the two equations in the format which I had shown, this format. Now let's identify the values of A1, B1, C1 and A2, B2 and C2. So this is A1, this coefficient is B1 and this constant term is called C1 for equation 1. We could have taken this as also as equation 1, it wouldn't make a difference. And here let's call this coefficient as A2, this as B2 and this constant term as C2. If there is no constant term, then this becomes 0. And if there is no coefficient for x or y, then that value for A2 or B2 would have been 1. Of course, if there is a negative sign, then the values of A2 or B2 would be -3 or -4 respectively. Now that we know the values of these variables, we simply have to substitute it in the formula. X's formula is B1 C2 minus B2 C1 upon A1 B2 minus A2 B1. That is B1 into C2 minus B2 into C1 upon A1 into B2 minus A2 into B1. So you calculate this and you get the answer. Similarly, Y's formula is given. We simply substitute the values in this formula and we get the answer of Y. And the sum is over. Now the 11th sum, again two equations are given, but there are decimal places there. So to get rid of them, let's just multiply the whole equation by 10. So there are no decimal places. Write it in the standard form, both the equations. Get the values of A1, B1, C1 and A2, B2, C2. Remember, here B1 value is -15, C1 is -65 and C2 is -9. Don't forget the negative signs here. And then in these formulae, simply substitute the values. Be careful with the negative signs. Minus into minus is positive. Again, minus into minus is positive. Do the division, get the answer as 5. And even here, after solving, the answer of Y is -2. So the solution set is 5 and -2. Students, mark the 11th and the 12th sums as IMP. Now this 12th sum, let's solve it in the same manner. But here the constant terms are missing. So we'll have to introduce the constant terms as 0 and 0 here. So let's identify the coefficients. This is A1, this is B1, and this is C1. This is A2, B2 and C2. And then we have the formulae and we just have to substitute it. Remember, always the denominator of this formula and this formula is exactly the same. The denominator is always the same. In fact, in this sum, the denominator doesn't even matter, because after substituting, we see that 0 into anything is 0, and even this is 0, and 0 minus 0 is 0, and if the numerator is 0, then the whole fraction is 0. So the value of x as well as y is 0. So make sure you show the steps, otherwise in exam you'll get a 0.